The Wealth Building Blueprint: Simple Money Habits, Smart Investing, and Financial Freedom. Your complete guide to building lasting wealth 2026 Part 1: The Money Habits that Separate Rich from Poor. Chapter 1: The Psychology of Spending Habits. Understanding why you spend money is the first step toward building real wealth. Most people operate on autopilot when it comes to their financial decisions, making purchasing choices based on emotions rather than logic. Research from behavioral economist Dr. Senno Mullainathan at the University of Chicago reveals that financial stress literally reduces our cognitive capacity, leading to even more poor spending decisions. The wealthy understand this psychological trap and have developed systems to bypass their emotional spending triggers. Your spending habits are deeply rooted in your upbringing, social environment, and the stories you tell yourself about money. If you grew up in a household where money was tight, you might either become extremely frugal or develop a scarcity mindset that prevents you from investing in yourself. Conversely, if money flowed freely in your childhood, you might have developed spending patterns that exceed your current income level. Real example: consider Sarah Chin, a 32-year-old marketing manager in Austin, Texas. For years, she earned $85,000 annually but could not save more than $200 per month. After tracking her spending for 30 days, she discovered she was spending $450 monthly on subscription services she never used, $380 on coffee shop visits, and $520 on impulse Amazon purchases. By redirecting just 60% of these unconscious expenditures, she freed up $810 monthly for investing. Within 3 years, she had built a portfolio worth $35,000. Key principle: track every dollar you spend for 30 days without changing your behavior. Awareness alone typically reduces discretionary spending by 15 to 20%. One practical technique for understanding your spending psychology is the envelope method, adapted for the digital age. Create separate categories in your budgeting app and assign a fixed amount to each discretionary category at the beginning of the month. When the category balance reaches zero, spending in that area stops until the next month. This creates a physical boundary around your spending that mirrors the psychological boundary wealthy people maintain naturally. This structure prevents the gradual erosion of your bank balance that occurs when spending happens without clear limits or checkpoints. The most successful wealth builders treat their finances like a business. They review their spending weekly, categorize expenses ruthlessly, and make intentional decisions about where their money goes. This is not about deprivation. It is about making sure your spending aligns with your values and long-term goals. When you understand the psychology behind your spending, you gain the power to redirect that money toward building lasting wealth. Social comparison is one of the most dangerous spending triggers in the modern world. Social media platforms showcase curated highlight reels of other people's lives, creating artificial standards that fuel unnecessary purchases. Studies show that people who spend more time on social media platforms report higher levels of dissatisfaction with their own financial situation and are more likely to make impulse purchases to keep up with perceived peers. Breaking free from social comparison requires conscious effort to define your own version of success and financial happiness independent of what others display online. Emotional spending is another critical area that wealth builders learn to recognize and control. When people feel stressed, bored, lonely, or even celebratory, they often turn to spending as a coping mechanism. Retail therapy provides a temporary dopamine hit but creates lasting financial damage. The wealthy develop alternative coping strategies such as exercise, meditation, journaling, or calling a friend. By addressing the underlying emotion directly rather than through spending, they preserve their financial resources for investments that create genuine, lasting happiness and security. Chapter 2: Building an Unshakable Saving Mindset. The difference between those who build wealth and those who do not often comes down to a single habit: paying yourself first. This means setting aside money for savings and investments before you pay any bills or make any purchases. It sounds simple, yet most Americans save less than 5% of their income, while the recommended rate is at least 20% for true wealth building. Developing a saving mindset requires a fundamental shift in how you view money. Instead of seeing savings as what is left after expenses, view it as your first expense. The wealthy understand that saving is not about restriction, it is about freedom. Every dollar saved is a soldier working for you, building your financial army that will eventually fight for your independence. The power of compound interest makes early saving particularly valuable. A dollar saved at age 25 is worth significantly more than a dollar saved at age 35 because it has more time to compound and grow. This mathematical reality means that young adults who develop saving habits early have an enormous advantage over those who delay. Even small amounts saved consistently in your 20s and 30s grow to substantial sums by the time you reach retirement age, making early saving one of the most powerful wealth building strategies available. Real example: Marcus and Elena Rodriguez, both teachers in Phoenix earning a combined $95,000, decided to adopt the pay yourself first method. They automated $1,500 monthly into a high-yield savings account before their first paycheck cleared. The first 3 months were uncomfortable as they had to cut dining out and cancel premium gym memberships. But after 6 months, their emergency fund reached $9,000, and they felt more financially secure than ever. 2 years later, they had $42,000 saved and used $30,000 as a down payment on their first rental property. Key principle: automate your savings to remove the temptation of spending. Set up automatic transfers on payday so you never see the money in your checking account. The highest performing savers use what financial psychologists call mental accounting to their advantage. They create specific savings goals with clear timelines and visual tracking, transforming abstract saving into concrete progress toward meaningful objectives. A family saving for a home down payment tracks their progress on a chart posted on the refrigerator, celebrating each milestone along the way. This approach transforms saving from a vague obligation into an exciting journey toward a specific, tangible reward that motivates consistent behavior over months and years. The psychological impact of saving is profound. Studies show that people with even a modest emergency fund report significantly lower stress levels and higher life satisfaction. When you know you have financial reserves, you make better decisions at work, in relationships, and in all areas of life. Your savings account becomes your peace of mind account. One of the most effective strategies for building a saving mindset is to visualize your future financial self. Research in behavioral psychology shows that people who feel a strong connection to their future selves make better financial decisions today. Spend time imagining your ideal retirement, your dream home, or the financial freedom to pursue your passions. When saving feels connected to a vivid, emotionally compelling future, it transforms from a chore into an exciting journey toward the life you truly want to live. Social support plays a critical role in maintaining a saving mindset over the long term. Surround yourself with people who share your financial goals and values. Join online communities, attend financial literacy workshops, or find an accountability partner who will encourage you during challenging moments. Research consistently shows that financial habits are contagious, meaning the people you spend the most time with significantly influence your saving and spending behavior. Choose your financial community as carefully as you choose your investments. Chapter 3: The Power of Delayed Gratification. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment of the 1960s revealed something profound about human nature and wealth. Children who could delay gratification went on to have higher test scores, better health outcomes, and greater financial success as adults. This principle extends directly to adult financial behavior. The ability to say not yet to impulse purchases is perhaps the single most important skill for wealth building. Delayed gratification does not mean never enjoying your money. It means being intentional about when and how you spend. Instead of buying the latest phone the moment it releases, you wait 3 months and save $300. Instead of financing a luxury car, you buy reliable transportation with cash and invest the monthly payment. These small delays compound into massive financial advantages over time. Real example: David Park, a software developer in Seattle, calculated that buying a new $1,200 phone every year versus keeping his phone for 3 years and investing the difference would cost him $2.3 million over 40 years when accounting for compound growth at 8% annually. This realization transformed his relationship with consumer electronics. He now follows a 3-year upgrade cycle for all technology and invests the savings in index funds. At age 38, his technology savings fund alone has grown to $187,000. Key principle: before any non-essential purchase over $100, wait 72 hours. If you still want it after 3 days and it fits your budget, proceed. If not, you have saved money and regret. The concept of opportunity cost is central to understanding delayed gratification. Every dollar you spend on something today is a dollar that cannot compound and grow for your future. When you frame purchases in terms of what that money could become rather than just what it buys now, the decision-making calculus changes dramatically. A $200 dinner out today might cost you $3,000 in future investment returns over 30 years. This reframing does not mean you should never enjoy dining out, but rather that you should make these choices consciously and deliberately rather than automatically and habitually. The compound effect of delayed gratification becomes clear when you examine the numbers. Skipping a $5 daily coffee habit and investing that money at 7% annual returns produces over $365,000 in 30 years. That single daily delay transforms into a substantial portion of a retirement portfolio. The wealthy understand that small daily decisions create extraordinary long-term results. Delayed gratification also applies to major life decisions such as career changes, business ventures, and educational investments. The most successful professionals often spend years building skills and credentials in lower-paying positions before advancing to high-income roles. A medical student endures 8 years of training before earning a physician's salary, and a young lawyer spends years building expertise before making partner. These deliberate delays in gratification create enormous long-term returns that far exceed the temporary sacrifice of patience and perseverance. Technology has made practicing delayed gratification both easier and more challenging simultaneously. On one hand, instant shopping apps and one-click purchasing make impulse spending dangerously convenient. On the other hand, digital tools like wish lists and savings trackers help you visualize your goals and resist impulsive purchases. The key is to intentionally create friction between the desire to spend and the act of purchasing. Remove saved credit cards from online stores, delete shopping apps from your phone, and implement cooling off periods before any non-essential purchase over a set dollar amount. Chapter 4: Financial Discipline as a Superpower. Financial discipline is not about willpower, it is about systems. The most disciplined savers in the world do not rely on motivation or self-control. Instead, they create environments and routines that make good financial behavior automatic. They understand that willpower is a finite resource that depletes throughout the day, so they design systems that do not require constant decision making. The concept of choice architecture is central to building financial discipline. By designing your financial environment to make good choices easy and bad choices difficult, you remove the need for constant willpower. Automatic savings transfers, cash-only spending systems, and removing safe payment information from online stores are all examples of choice architecture that supports disciplined financial behavior. These environmental design strategies are far more effective than relying on motivation or self-control alone. Building financial discipline starts with clarity about your values and goals. When your spending and saving align with what truly matters to you, discipline becomes easier. If travel is your passion, watching your vacation fund grow becomes exciting rather than restrictive. If financial independence is your goal, each investment feels like a step toward freedom rather than a sacrifice. Real example: Priya Sharma, an accountant in Chicago, created what she calls her discipline architecture. She set up separate accounts for different goals, one for retirement that auto-invested monthly, one for travel that was automatically funded, one for emergencies, and one for daily expenses. She uses cash for discretionary spending and leaves all credit cards at home. This system eliminated the need for daily financial decisions and reduced her monthly spending by 25% without any feeling of deprivation. In 5 years, she increased her net worth from $15,000 to $145,000. Key principle: create a financial system so strong that even on your worst days, your money still moves toward your goals automatically. Financial discipline also requires developing the ability to distinguish between short-term discomfort and long-term harm. Saving aggressively may feel uncomfortable initially, but it does not harm you. Taking on high-interest, debt-to-fund lifestyle spending feels comfortable in the moment but creates lasting financial damage. Learning to tolerate short-term financial discomfort in exchange for long-term financial strength is a skill that separates those who build lasting wealth from those who remain perpetually struggling regardless of income level. The most powerful aspect of financial discipline is that it builds momentum. Each successful financial decision makes the next one easier. When you see your savings balance growing, you become more motivated to contribute. When you watch your debt decrease, you become more committed to your payoff plan. This positive feedback loop creates an unstoppable force toward wealth building. Financial discipline extends beyond saving and investing. It encompasses every financial decision you make throughout the day. From choosing a reasonably priced lunch to negotiating a better rate on your insurance, disciplined individuals approach each spending decision with intentionality. They understand that wealth is not built through a single dramatic action but through hundreds of small, consistent choices that compound over time. This awareness of micro-decisions and their cumulative impact is what separates the financially disciplined from everyone else. Building financial discipline also requires learning to distinguish between needs and wants with ruthless honesty. Most people dramatically overstate their needs and understate their wants, which creates a distorted view of their financial reality. A $60,000 annual lifestyle can often be maintained comfortably on $40,000 with some creative adjustments. The discipline to make this distinction and live accordingly is what creates the financial margin necessary for wealth building. This is not about deprivation, but about intentional allocation of resources toward your highest priorities and long-term goals. Chapter 5: Living Below Your Means. Living below your means is the cornerstone of wealth building, yet it remains one of the most misunderstood financial principles. Many people interpret it as living cheaply or denying yourself pleasure. In reality, it means spending less than you earn consistently, regardless of how much you make. A doctor earning $300,000 who spends $350,000 is in worse financial shape than a teacher earning $50,000 who saves $10,000 annually. The social pressure to spend more as you earn more is relentless and pervasive. From advertising that equates spending with success to social circles that measure status through material possessions, the forces working against living below your means are powerful. Overcoming these pressures requires a clear vision of your financial goals and the confidence to define success on your own terms rather than accepting society's definition of achievement through consumption. The paradox of wealth is that most millionaires live modestly. The Millionaire Next Door research by Dr. Thomas Stanley revealed that 80% of American millionaires are ordinary people who accumulated wealth by consistently living below their means over decades. They drive used cars, live in modest homes, and avoid status symbols that drain wealth. Real example: Jennifer and Michael Thompson, both marketing executives in Denver, earn a combined $180,000 annually. Despite their six-figure income, they live in a $320,000 home, drive a 2009 Toyota Camry and a 2020 Honda Civic, and have never spent more than $150 on a single piece of clothing. Their friends often wonder why they do not upgrade their lifestyle. The answer is simple: the Thompsons save and invest 40% of their income, building a net worth that exceeded $1.2 million by age 42. Their friends, earning similar incomes, average less than $50,000 in savings. Key principle: adopt a wealth building income gap, live on 70% or less of what you earn, regardless of your salary level. The cultural pressure to spend more as you earn more is one of the greatest obstacles to building wealth. Advertising, social media, and peer groups constantly promote the idea that higher income should translate to higher spending. Resisting this pressure requires a clear vision of your financial goals and the discipline to prioritize long-term security over short-term status. The wealthiest people you know likely drive practical cars, live in modest homes, and avoid conspicuous consumption that signals wealth but actually prevents its accumulation. Living below your means creates a financial buffer that protects you during downturns and positions you to seize opportunities. When the stock market dips, you have cash to invest. When a great business opportunity appears, you have capital ready. When unexpected expenses arise, they are inconveniences rather than crises. This financial margin is what separates those who build lasting wealth from those who remain financially vulnerable regardless of income level. The concept of lifestyle inflation is the silent killer of wealth building. As people earn more, they tend to spend more on bigger houses, nicer cars, and more expensive experiences. This phenomenon, sometimes called hedonic adaptation, means that increases in income are consumed by increases in lifestyle rather than directed toward building wealth. The antidote to lifestyle inflation is to maintain your current standard of living for at least 2 years after every raise, directing the additional income entirely toward savings and investments. This simple practice can accelerate your wealth building timeline by decades. Living below your means also provides extraordinary freedom and flexibility in your career choices. When you have low expenses and substantial savings, you can afford to take calculated risks such as starting a business, changing careers, or negotiating for better working conditions. People who live paycheck to paycheck, regardless of their income level, are essentially trapped in situations they cannot afford to leave. Financial margin creates options, and options are the foundation of a truly free and fulfilling life. The wealthy understand that true freedom comes not from earning the most but from needing the least. Part 2: Smart Budgeting and Debt Freedom, Chapter 6. The 50/30/20 rule that changes everything. The 50/30/20 budget rule, popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren, provides the simplest yet most effective framework for managing your money. Allocate 50% of your after-tax income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. This rule eliminates the complexity that causes most budgets to fail while ensuring every dollar has a purpose. Understanding the difference between needs and wants is the critical first step in implementing the 50/30/20 rule. Needs include housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and minimum debt payments. Wants include dining out, entertainment, subscriptions, hobbies, and luxury purchases. Most people dramatically overestimate their needs and underestimate their wants, which is why the simple categorization exercise often reveals shocking insights about spending patterns and creates immediate opportunities for improvement. The beauty of this framework is its flexibility. During different life stages, your percentages may shift temporarily, but the principle remains constant. A young professional might allocate 50% to needs, 40% to wants, and 10% to savings, then gradually increase savings as income grows. The key is starting with a structured approach rather than leaving your finances to chance. Real example, Aisha Johnson, a nurse in Atlanta earning $62,000 annually or about $4,100 monthly after taxes, implemented the 50/30/20 rule and was shocked by the results. Her needs including rent, utilities, groceries, insurance, and minimum debt payments totaled $1,950 monthly, exactly 47.5% of her income. Her wants including dining out, entertainment, and shopping had been consuming 45% of her income, leaving only 8% for savings. By reducing wants to 30% or $1,230 and increasing savings to 20% or $820, she freed up $540 monthly that now flows into index funds and her emergency account. Key principle: the 50/30/20 rule works because it is simple enough to remember, flexible enough to adapt, and balanced enough to enjoy life while building wealth. The beauty of the 50/30/20 rule lies in its ability to accommodate different income levels and life stages. A recent college graduate earning $35,000 may initially allocate 50% to needs, 40% to wants, and only 10% to savings. As their income grows through career advancement, they can gradually shift toward the ideal 50/30/20 split without feeling deprived. The key is progress rather than perfection, moving steadily toward the target allocation as financial circumstances improve over time. To implement this rule effectively, start by calculating your exact after-tax monthly income. Then track every expense for 1 month, categorizing each as a need, want, or savings and debt payment. Most people discover their percentages are dramatically skewed, often spending 60 to 70% on wants while calling them needs. This clarity alone transforms financial behavior and creates immediate momentum toward wealth building. The 50/30/20 rule is particularly effective because it provides structure without being overly restrictive. Unlike rigid budgets that track every cent and create feelings of deprivation, this framework gives you freedom within each category. As long as your needs total 50% or less, your wants total 30% or less, and your savings and debt payments total 20% or more, you can spend within each category without guilt or detailed tracking. This balance between structure and flexibility is what makes the rule sustainable for the long term. For households with variable income such as freelancers, commission-based workers, or seasonal employees, the 50/30/20 rule adapts easily by calculating percentages based on your lowest expected monthly income. During higher earning months, the surplus can be directed entirely toward savings and investments, accelerating your wealth building even further. This flexibility makes the rule applicable to virtually every financial situation, regardless of income stability or regularity. Chapter 7: The Debt Snowball Method. The Debt Snowball Method, championed by financial expert Dave Ramsey, attacks debt using psychology as its primary weapon. Rather than focusing on interest rates, you pay off debts from smallest balance to largest, regardless of the interest rate. Each paid off account creates a motivational victory that fuels your journey to complete debt freedom. This method has helped millions of people eliminate debt who had failed with other approaches. The psychological power of the debt snowball lies in its ability to create momentum through visible progress. When you see a debt balance drop to zero, your brain releases dopamine, the same neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward. This neurological response reinforces the behavior that led to the debt payoff, making you more likely to continue the process. Over time, These small neurological wins compound into a powerful motivation that carries you through to complete debt freedom. The math may seem counterintuitive, as why not pay off high interest debt first? The answer lies in human behavior. Research consistently shows that small wins create momentum, and momentum creates lasting change. When you pay off your smallest debt in month 3, you experience a psychological boost that makes you more committed to the process. This emotional fuel is worth more than the few dollars saved by optimizing interest payments. Real example, Robert Ken, a teacher in Portland with $28,500 in total debt across 5 accounts, started the debt snowball with a $340 medical bill. He paid it off in 2 months using extra income from weekend tutoring. His next target was a $1,200 credit card balance, eliminated in 4 months. By month 6, he had paid off 3 debts totaling $2,100 and felt unstoppable. He redirected those payments toward his $4,800 car loan, which he cleared in 8 months. After 26 months, Robert was completely debt-free, having paid off $28,500 in just over 2 years. Key principle: start your debt snowball today with your smallest balance, regardless of the interest rate. Momentum is more valuable than mathematical optimization. The debt snowball method also has a powerful social component that enhances its effectiveness. When you share your debt-free journey with friends, family, or online communities, you create accountability that makes quitting more difficult. Many successful debt eliminators credit their support networks with helping them stay committed during challenging moments. The celebration of each paid-off debt becomes a shared victory that reinforces your determination and inspires others who may be struggling with similar challenges. The debt snowball works because it aligns financial strategy with human psychology. Each eliminated payment frees up more cash for the next target, creating a literal snowball effect. The payments get larger, the progress accelerates, and the finish line comes into view. For many people, this is the first time they have successfully managed debt, and that experience transforms their entire relationship with money. To maximize the effectiveness of the debt snowball, find ways to increase your monthly debt payments beyond minimums. Sell unused items around your house, take on temporary extra work, or reduce expenses temporarily to accelerate your progress. Each extra dollar applied to your debt repayment reduces the timeline and the total interest paid. Many successful debt eliminators report that finding creative ways to earn extra money during their debt payoff journey not only accelerated their progress, but also discovered new income streams that continued long after the debt was eliminated. Tracking your progress visually is another powerful technique that enhances the debt snowball method. Create a chart showing your total debt decreasing over time, or use a thermometer-style tracker for each individual debt. The visual representation of your progress provides motivation during difficult moments and reinforces the positive trajectory of your financial life. Many people find that posting their progress on social media or sharing with supportive friends creates additional accountability and encouragement that helps them stay committed to the process. Chapter 8: The Debt Avalanche Strategy. The debt avalanche method takes a purely mathematical approach to debt elimination. Instead of paying off smallest balances first, you target the debt with the highest interest rate while making minimum payments on everything else. This strategy saves the most money on interest charges over time and eliminates debt in the shortest possible time frame for those who can maintain motivation. For people who are motivated by logic and numbers rather than small wins, the avalanche method provides a clear path to debt freedom. If you have a $15,000 balance at 22% APR and a $3,000 balance at 6% APR, attacking the high interest debt first saves hundreds or thousands in interest charges. The math is undeniable, and for analytically minded individuals, this mathematical clarity provides sufficient motivation. Real example: Amanda Foster, a data analyst in Boston, used the avalanche method to eliminate $47,000 in debt over 30 months. She had a $12,000 credit card at 21.99% APR and $8,500 personal loan at 14.5% and a $26,500 car loan at 5.9%. By focusing all extra payments on the credit card first, she saved $3,200 in interest compared to the snowball method. After the credit card was eliminated, she attacked the personal loan, then the car loan. Amanda paid less than $8,400 in total interest, compared to an estimated $14,600 she would have paid with minimum payments over 7 years. Key principle: if you are motivated by mathematics and can stay focused on long-term goals, the avalanche method saves the most money on interest over time. The avalanche method is particularly effective for people with high interest credit card debt, where the interest rate differential between accounts is significant. When you have a card at 24% APRA and another at 12%, the mathematical advantage of attacking the higher rate first is substantial. Over a multi-year debt payoff timeline, this strategy can save hundreds or thousands of dollars in interest charges, money that can be redirected toward investments and wealth building once the debt is eliminated. Both the snowball and avalanche methods work because they provide structure and direction. The avalanche method is optimal from a purely financial perspective, but the snowball method often wins in practice due to human psychology. Choose the method that matches your personality and motivation style. The best debt payoff plan is the one you will actually follow through on consistently until you reach debt freedom. Regardless of which method you choose, the key to success is creating a detailed debt payoff plan and committing to it with unwavering determination. List every debt you owe, including the balance, interest rate, minimum payment, and due date. Calculate how much extra you can pay each month and create a projected payoff date for each debt. Seeing the finish line in concrete terms transforms the abstract concept of becoming debt-free into a tangible goal with a specific timeline that drives your daily financial decisions. Avoiding new debt during your payoff journey is just as important as making extra payments on existing debt. Preventing new debt requires addressing the root causes of your borrowing, whether it is overspending, insufficient emergency savings, or lifestyle inflation. Build a small emergency fund of at least $1,000 before aggressively attacking debt to prevent new borrowing when unexpected expenses arise. This combination of defensive and offensive financial strategies creates the momentum needed to eliminate debt permanently and build lasting wealth. Chapter 9: Credit Score Mastery. Your credit score is one of the most powerful financial tools you possess, yet most people do not understand how it works or how to optimize it. A good credit score, typically 700 or above, can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over your lifetime through lower interest rates on mortgages, auto loans, and credit cards. A score above 750 opens doors to the best rates and terms available in the lending market. The 5 factors that determine your credit score are payment history at 35%, amounts owed at 30%, length of credit history at 15%, new credit inquiries at 10%, and credit mix at 10%. Understanding these weights helps you prioritize your efforts. Making every payment on time is the single most important thing you can do for your credit score, followed by keeping your credit utilization below 30% of your available limits. Real example: Carlos Mendez, a restaurant manager in Miami, had a credit score of 580 when he decided to take control of his financial life. He set up autopay for all bills, paid down his 3 credit cards from 85% utilization to 15% over 6 months, and became an authorized user on his mother's 20-year-old credit card. Within 14 months, his score jumped to 742. This improvement saved him $47,000 in interest on a $280,000 mortgage he secured 6 months later, compared to the rate you would have received with his original score. Key principle: your credit score is not just a number, it is a measure of your financial reliability that directly impacts the cost of every major purchase you will ever make. Understanding how credit inquiries affect your score is essential for strategic credit management. Each hard inquiry can reduce your score by 5 to 10 points and remains on your report for 2 years. However, multiple inquiries for the same type of loan within a short window, typically 14 to 45 days, are counted as a single inquiry by most scoring models. This means rate shopping for a mortgage or auto loan within a concentrated period has minimal impact on your score, while spreading applications over months can cause significant damage. Building and maintaining excellent credit requires consistent, long-term habits rather than quick fixes. Avoid opening multiple new accounts in a short period. Keep old accounts open even if you rarely use them, and monitor your credit report regularly for errors or fraudulent activity. Free annual credit reports are available from all 3 major bureaus, and many credit card companies now offer free score monitoring. Treat your credit score like a garden that requires regular attention and consistent care to flourish over time. Your credit utilization ratio, the percentage of available credit you are using, has the second largest impact on your score after payment history. Financial experts recommend keeping the utilization below 30%, but the most successful credit builders keep it below 10%. This can be achieved by making multiple payments throughout the month before the statement closing date, requesting credit limit increases, or spreading purchases across multiple cards. Low utilization signals to lenders that you are a responsible borrower who uses credit judiciously rather than dependently. Building credit strategically also means understanding the difference between hard and soft inquiries. Hard inquiries, which occur when you apply for new credit, temporarily lower your score by a few points and remain on your report for 2 years. Soft inquiries, such as checking your own score or receiving pre-approval offers, have no impact on your credit score. By limiting hard inquiries to essential applications and monitoring your score regularly through soft inquiry methods, you protect your credit score while staying informed about your financial standing. Chapter 10: The Art of Negotiating Bills. Most people accept their monthly bills as fixed costs, but the reality is that nearly every recurring expense in your life is negotiable. Cable and internet providers, cell phone companies, insurance carriers, and even medical billing departments routinely offer discounts and reduced rates to customers who take the time to ask. Companies would rather give you a discount than lose you as a customer entirely, and their retention departments have significant authority to reduce your costs. The key to successful bill negotiation is preparation and persistence. Before calling, research competitor pricing so you know what alternatives are available. Be polite but firm, and always ask to speak with the retention department if the first representative cannot help. Most negotiations take less than 20 minutes and can result in annual savings of hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Real example: Keisha Williams, a freelance graphic designer in Atlanta, spent one Saturday afternoon negotiating 5 of her monthly bills. She called her internet provider and received a $30 monthly reduction by mentioning a competitor's promotional rate. Her cell phone bill dropped $25 per month when she switched to an older plan with the same data. Her car insurance was reduced by $40 per month after she bundled with her renter's insurance. In total, Keisha saved $115 per month or $1,380 annually, adding up to $6,900 over 5 years. The entire process took less than 2 hours of her time. Key principle: negotiate your bills every 6 to 12 months. Set calendar reminders and always be ready to switch providers if your current company will not offer competitive pricing. Medical bills represent a unique negotiation opportunity because healthcare pricing is notoriously opaque and variable. A procedure that costs $10,000 at one facility may cost $3,000 at another, and the initial bill is often negotiable. Always request an itemized bill, review it for errors, and ask about cash payment discounts or payment plans. Many hospitals and medical providers will reduce bills by 20 to 40% simply because you asked, and charity care programs can eliminate costs entirely for those who qualify based on income. Beyond the immediate savings, regular bill negotiation teaches valuable financial skills that transfer to every area of wealth building. You learn to advocate for yourself, research alternatives, and recognize that most prices are not set in stone. These skills prove invaluable when negotiating salary increases, business contracts, and major purchases. The habit of questioning and optimizing recurring expenses is a cornerstone of the wealth building mindset that separates those who accumulate wealth from those who merely get by. Insurance premiums represent one of the largest opportunities for bill negotiation savings, particularly for auto, home, and health coverage. Shopping your insurance rates every 2 to 3 years with competing companies often reveals savings of 15 to 30% for identical coverage. Bundling policies with a single provider, increasing deductibles to reduce premiums, and maintaining a clean claims history are additional strategies that compound to save thousands of dollars annually. Most people pay far more for insurance than necessary simply because they have not comparison shopped in years. Technology has made bill negotiation more accessible and effective than ever before. Services like Trim, BillShark, and Truebill analyze your recurring expenses and negotiate lower rates on your behalf for a percentage of the savings. While these services are convenient, learning to negotiate your own bills is a more valuable long-term skill. Practice with lower stakes bills like cable and cell phone before tackling more significant negotiations like medical bills or insurance premiums. Each successful negotiation builds confidence and competence that serves you throughout your financial life. Building a habit of reviewing and optimizing your monthly expenses creates a foundation for long-term financial health. The cumulative effect of reducing 5 or 6 recurring bills by even small amounts can free up hundreds of dollars monthly, which, when invested consistently over decades, grows into substantial wealth. This systematic approach to expense management is one of the simplest yet most powerful wealth building strategies available to anyone regardless of income level. Part 3, Smart Investing for Everyone, Chapter 11. Index funds and passive wealth. Index funds are the single greatest wealth building tool available to ordinary investors, yet they remain overlooked by millions of people who chase hot stocks and try to beat the market. An index fund tracks a specific market index, such as the S&P 500, giving you instant diversification across hundreds or thousands of companies. This approach eliminates the risk of any single company dragging down your portfolio and historically delivers returns that outperform 85% of actively managed funds over 20-year periods. The history of index investing reveals its remarkable effectiveness. John Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, created the first index fund in 1976 and was ridiculed by the investment establishment for suggesting that ordinary investors could not beat professional fund managers. Decades of data have proven Bogle correct, as the vast majority of actively managed funds fail to outperform their benchmark indexes after fees and expenses. This evidence has made index investing the cornerstone of wealth building for millions of investors worldwide. The genius of index investing lies in its simplicity and cost effectiveness. With expense ratios as low as 0.03%, index funds keep more of your money working for you compared to actively managed funds that charge 1% or more annually. This cost difference may seem small, but over 30 years of investing, it can mean the difference between retiring with $1 million and retiring with $700,000. Real example, Michael Torres, a postal worker in Cleveland earning $52,000 annually, started investing $300 per month in a total stock market index fund at age 25. He never increased his contribution beyond that amount and never picked individual stocks. By age 60, his portfolio had grown to $1.1 million, with only $126,000 of it being his own contributions. The rest was compound growth working quietly in the background. His coworker, who tried to pick winning stocks and paid high fund fees, ended the same period with just $480,000 despite investing more money over the same time frame. Key principle: invest in low-cost index funds consistently for decades and let compound growth do the heavy lifting. You do not need to pick stocks to build wealth. The simplicity of index investing is its greatest strength, but it also creates a challenge for investors who crave excitement and engagement. Watching your index fund quietly compound year after year lacks the thrill of picking individual stocks for timing the market. However, this boredom is a feature, not a bug. By removing the emotional highs and lows that come with active stock picking, index investing keeps you focused on what actually matters: consistent contributions and long-term compounding. The most successful index investors are those who set up their system and resist the temptation to tinker with it. The evidence supporting index investing is overwhelming. Warren Buffett, arguably the greatest investor in history, has repeatedly recommended low-cost S&P 500 index funds for the average investor. He even bet $1 million that an index fund would outperform a collection of hedge funds over 10 years and won decisively. The lesson is clear. For the vast majority of investors, simple index fund investing outperforms complex strategies while requiring virtually no time or expertise. Choosing the right index fund depends on your goals, risk tolerance, and investment timeline. For most investors, a total stock market index fund or an S&P 500 index fund provides excellent diversified exposure to the U.S. economy. International index funds add geographic diversification, while bond index funds provide stability and income for those closer to retirement. A simple three-fund portfolio consisting of a U.S. stock index fund, an international stock index fund, and a bond index fund covers virtually every asset class needed for long-term wealth building. One common misconception about index investing is that it is boring or passive in a negative sense. While index funds do not provide the excitement of picking individual stocks for timing the market, this boring approach is precisely what makes them effective. By removing emotional decision-making, eliminating the temptation to chase performance, and keeping costs minimal, index investing allows your money to compound undisturbed for decades. The most successful investors are often those who set up their system and then leave it alone to work its magic over time. Chapter 12, Dollar Cost Averaging Made Simple. Dollar cost averaging is the practice of investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals regardless of market conditions. Instead of trying to time the market by buying when prices are low and selling when they are high, you invest the same amount every month or every paycheck. This strategy removes emotion from investing and ensures you consistently build wealth over time, regardless of whether the market is up, down, or sideways. The mathematical beauty of dollar cost averaging is that it naturally buys more shares when prices are low and fewer shares when prices are high. Over time, this results in a lower average cost per share than if you had invested the same total amount in a lump sum at various points. More importantly, it eliminates the paralysis that prevents many people from investing because they are waiting for the perfect moment that never arrives. Real example, Meena Patel, a software engineer in San Jose, started investing $500 per month in an S&P 500 index fund in January 2020. The market crashed 34% in March 2020, and she was terrified, but she kept investing. During the crash, her $500 bought 40% more shares than it had in January. When the market recovered and reached new highs by December, those extra shares purchased during the downturn generated outsized returns. Over the next 4 years, Nina's consistent monthly investments of $500 grew to $38,000 despite significant market volatility along the way. Key principle: set up automatic monthly investments and never stop, regardless of what the market is doing. Time in the market beats timing the market every single time. One of the greatest advantages of dollar cost averaging is that it removes the paralysis of indecision that prevents many people from investing. The fear of buying at the wrong time keeps millions of dollars on the sidelines earning minimal returns in savings accounts. By committing to a regular investment schedule, you eliminate the question of when to invest and replace it with a simple, executable plan. This shift from decision making to execution is what separates successful long term investors from those who never start. Dollar cost averaging also addresses the behavioral challenge of investing. Studies show that investors who try to time the market earn significantly lower returns than those who invest consistently, primarily because they tend to buy high when markets are exciting and sell low when fear takes over. By automating your investments, you remove the emotional decision making that destroys wealth. This strategy works equally well with index funds, target date retirement funds, or any diversified investment vehicle. The mathematical advantage of dollar cost averaging becomes most apparent during periods of market volatility. When prices drop significantly, your fixed investment amount purchases substantially more shares than when prices are high. These additional shares purchased during downturns generate outsized returns when the market recovers, effectively turning volatility from a threat into an advantage. This counterintuitive benefit is one of the most powerful aspects of consistent investing and explains why patient, disciplined investors consistently outperform those who try to time the market. Implementing dollar cost averaging is as simple as setting up automatic contributions to your investment account on a regular schedule. Most brokerage platforms and retirement plans offer automatic investment options that allow you to specify an amount and frequency. Choose a schedule that aligns with your pay cycle, whether that is weekly, biweekly, or monthly, and then let the system work without interference. The key is consistency and patience, allowing the strategy to compound over years and decades to build substantial wealth. Chapter 30, Real Estate Investing for Beginners. Real estate has created more millionaires than any other investment vehicle in history, and contrary to popular belief, you do not need massive wealth to get started. Real estate investing encompasses far more than buying rental properties, including real estate investment trusts or REIT, real estate crowdfunding platforms, house hacking, and wholesale deals. Each approach offers different levels of capital requirement, time commitment, and potential returns. The historical performance of real estate as an investment class demonstrates its wealth building power. Over the past century, real estate values have increased at an average rate of 3 to 4% annually, matching or exceeding inflation while providing additional returns through rental income and leverage. When combined with the tax advantages and inflation hedging properties of real estate, the total return profile makes it one of the most attractive asset classes for long-term wealth building. The fundamental advantage of real estate is leverage. You can control a $300,000 property with just $60,000 down, meaning your returns are calculated on the full property value while your investment is only a fraction of that. Additionally, real estate provides tax advantages including depreciation deductions, mortgage interest deductions, and the ability to defer capital gains through 1031 exchanges. These benefits make real estate one of the most tax-efficient investments available. Real example, Jamal Washington, a high school teacher in Atlanta with $15,000 in savings, purchased a duplex for $220,000 using an FHA loan with 3.5% down. He lived in one unit and rented the other for $1,200 per month. His mortgage payment, including taxes and insurance, was $1,650, but the rental income reduced his housing cost to just $450 per month. After 2 years, he saved enough to buy another duplex and repeat the process. By age 35, Jamal owned 4 rental units generating $4,800 in monthly gross income, with a net cash flow of $2,200 after all expenses. His total real estate equity exceeded $450,000. Key principle: you do not need to be wealthy to start real estate investing. House hacking with an FHA loan lets you live for cheap while building equity and rental income. Financing is the critical component that makes real estate investing accessible to ordinary investors. FHA loans require just 3.5% down for primary residences. Conventional loans require as little as 3% for first-time buyers. MBA loans require zero down for eligible veterans. These low down payment options allow you to control a valuable asset with minimal upfront capital, leveraging the bank money to build equity and generate rental income. Understanding these financing options and qualifying for them is the first step in any real estate investing journey. For those who prefer a more hands-off approach, rate and real estate crowdfunding platforms offer exposure to real estate returns without the responsibilities of property management. Rate trade like stocks and provide dividend income from portfolios of commercial properties. Platforms like Fundrise and Realty Mogul allow you to invest in real estate projects with as little as $500. These options make real estate investing accessible to virtually anyone with disposable income and a long-term perspective. Successful real estate investing requires thorough due diligence before committing capital. Research local market conditions, including vacancy rates, rental price trends, and employment growth indicators. Understand the total cost of ownership, including mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, maintenance reserves, and potential vacancy periods. Over-leveraging, taking on too much debt relative to property value, is the most common mistake new real estate investors make and can lead to financial disaster during market downturns or unexpected vacancies. Building a real estate portfolio over time allows you to leverage equity from existing properties to acquire additional ones, accelerating your wealth building exponentially. This strategy, known as the BRRR method, which stands for buy, rehab, rent, refinance, repeat, has created countless real estate millionaires. By purchasing undervalued properties, improving them, renting them out, and refinancing to pull out equity, you can recycle the same capital to acquire multiple properties. This approach requires patience and expertise but offers exceptional wealth building potential for dedicated investors. Chapter 14: Dividend Investing for Passive Income. Dividend investing focuses on building a portfolio of stocks that pay regular cash distributions, creating a stream of passive income that can eventually cover your living expenses. Companies that pay dividends tend to be established, profitable businesses with strong competitive positions. By investing in dividend-paying stocks or dividend growth funds, you receive regular payments while also benefiting from potential stock price appreciation over time. The power of dividend investing lies in reinvestment and compounding. When you reinvest dividends to purchase additional shares, those shares generate their own dividends, which purchase even more shares. This compounding effect can transform a modest initial investment into a substantial income stream over 20 or 30 years. Dividend growth investing, which focuses on companies that consistently increase their dividend payments, provides built-in inflation protection as your income grows faster than prices. Real example: Patricia Chin, a nurse practitioner in Portland, started investing $400 per month in a dividend growth ETF at age 30. The fund averaged a 2.5% yield with 8% annual dividend growth. By age 50, her initial investment of $96,000 had grown to $340,000 in value and was generating $8,500 in annual dividend income. By age 60, her annual dividend income exceeded $22,000, providing a meaningful supplement to her retirement savings without selling a single share of her investment. Key principle: dividend investing creates a stream of passive income that grows over time. Start reinvesting dividends early to let compounding work its magic. The power of dividend investing becomes even more apparent when you consider the tax advantages. Qualified dividends are taxed at lower rates than ordinary income, and dividends received in tax-advantaged accounts grow completely tax-free. By holding dividend-paying investments in both taxable and tax-advantaged accounts, you can optimize your tax position while building a growing income stream. This tax efficiency makes dividend investing particularly attractive for long-term wealth building and retirement planning. Building a dividend portfolio requires careful attention to yield, payout ratio, and dividend growth history. A yield that is too high may signal financial trouble, while a very low yield may not provide meaningful income. Look for companies with payout ratios below 60%, indicating sustainable dividends with room for growth. Alternatively, dividend growth ETFs provide instant diversification across hundreds of dividend-paying companies, reducing the risk of any single company cutting its dividend. This approach suits investors who value steady income and lower volatility over rapid price appreciation. The psychological benefit of dividend investing is significant, particularly during market downturns. When stock prices decline, your dividend payments continue, providing tangible evidence that your investment strategy is working regardless of short-term price movements. This income stream creates emotional stability that helps you avoid panic selling during market corrections. Many dividend investors report that receiving their quarterly or monthly dividend payments feels like getting paid to own their investments, reinforcing positive financial habits and long-term commitment to their portfolio strategy. Dividend investing also provides natural inflation protection through dividend growth. Companies that consistently increase their dividends typically raise payments at rates that outpace inflation, meaning your purchasing power grows over time even as prices rise. This feature makes dividend growth investing particularly attractive for retirees and those approaching retirement who need income that maintains its real value throughout their retirement years. Building a portfolio of quality dividend growers creates a sustainable income stream that can support your lifestyle for decades. Chapter 15: Cryptocurrency Basics. Cryptocurrency represents a new asset class that has generated extraordinary returns and equally extraordinary losses for investors. Understanding the fundamentals of blockchain technology and major cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum is essential for any modern investor, even if you ultimately decide this asset class is not for you. Cryptocurrency is highly volatile and speculative, but a small allocation can provide portfolio diversification and exposure to potentially transformative technology. Bitcoin, created in 2009, is the original cryptocurrency and remains the largest by market capitalization. It was designed as a decentralized digital currency that operates without central bank control. Ethereum extends blockchain technology beyond simple transactions, enabling smart contracts and decentralized applications. These two assets represent the foundation of the cryptocurrency market and offer different risk-reward profiles for investors. Real example: Derek Johnson, a 28-year-old electrician in Denver, allocated 5% of his investment portfolio to Bitcoin in 2019 when it was trading at $8,000. He invested $2,500 and committed to holding for at least 5 years regardless of price movements. The investment went through multiple cycles, dropping 50% in 2022 before recovering and growing to $18,000 by 2025. While the returns were impressive, Derek emphasized that the key was only investing what he could afford to lose and maintaining a long-term perspective. His overall portfolio remained stable because Bitcoin represented just 5% of his total holdings. Key principle: if you invest in cryptocurrency, limit your allocation to 5% or less of your total portfolio and commit to a 5-year minimum holding period. The regulatory landscape for cryptocurrency continues to evolve and significantly impacts investment outcomes. Government regulations regarding taxation, exchange operations, and institutional adoption can dramatically affect prices and accessibility. Staying informed about regulatory developments in your jurisdiction is essential for making informed investment decisions and maintaining compliance with tax obligations. The regulatory environment will likely continue to mature, potentially reducing volatility while increasing institutional participation and legitimacy. The most important principle for cryptocurrency investing is position sizing. Because this asset class can experience 80% drawdowns, you must only invest money you can afford to lose entirely without affecting your financial goals. Never invest your emergency fund, retirement savings, or money needed for short-term goals. Treat cryptocurrency as a speculative satellite investment rather than a core holding, and be prepared for extreme volatility in both directions. Security is paramount when investing in cryptocurrency. Unlike traditional bank accounts, cryptocurrency losses from hacks or stolen keys are generally not insured or recoverable. Use hardware wallets for long-term storage, enable two-factor authentication on all exchange accounts, and never share your private keys or seed phrases with anyone. The responsibility for securing your digital assets falls entirely on you, making proper security practices essential for protecting your investment from theft and loss. Before investing in any cryptocurrency, understand the technology and use case behind it. Bitcoin serves primarily as a store of value and digital gold, while Ethereum powers decentralized applications and smart contracts. Many other cryptocurrencies lack real utility and exist primarily as speculative vehicles. Focus your cryptocurrency allocation on established assets with proven track records, significant developer communities, and clear use cases. Avoid altcoins promoted through social media hype, as the vast majority of these projects fail to deliver on their promises and result in total loss for investors. Part 4, Building Multiple Income Streams, Chapter 16. Side hustles that actually work. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income, while the average American relies on just one. Building multiple income streams is not about working more hours. It is about creating diverse sources of money that flow to you with varying levels of time and effort. A side hustle is the fastest way to start building additional income because it leverages skills and time you already have while requiring minimal startup capital. The concept of multiple income streams is not new, but the opportunities available today are more diverse and accessible than ever before. The gig economy, digital platforms, and global connectivity have created pathways to additional income that previous generations could not have imagined. From freelance services to digital products, from rental income to dividend portfolios, the modern wealth builder has more tools available for creating diverse income sources than at any point in human history. The most effective side hustles share 3 characteristics. They pay well per hour, they build transferable skills, and they have the potential to scale beyond your personal time. Freelance consulting, tutoring, and specialized services typically pay $50 to $200 per hour, making them far more efficient than gig economy jobs that pay minimum wage. The key is choosing a side hustle that aligns with your existing skills and interests rather than chasing trends. Real example, Vanessa Park, a marketing specialist in San Francisco, started a freelance social media management side hustle in 2023. She began by managing accounts for 3 local businesses at $500 per month each. Within 6 months, she had 8 clients and was earning $4,000 per month in addition to her $75,000 salary. Rather than taking on more clients herself, she hired 2 part-time social media managers at $20 per hour and paid them $2,000 per month while keeping $2,000 as profit. By the end of year 2, her side business was generating $3,000 in monthly passive income with just 5 hours of her personal time each week. Key principle: choose a side hustle that pays at least $50 per hour and builds skills transferable to your career or future business ventures. The tax implications of side hustle income require careful attention from the beginning. Unlike employment income where taxes are withheld automatically, side hustle income typically requires quarterly estimated tax payments to avoid penalties. Track all business expenses meticulously, as these can be deducted from your side hustle income to reduce your tax burden. Common deductions include home office expenses, equipment purchases, professional development costs, and business-related travel. Understanding these tax considerations prevents unpleasant surprises and maximizes the net benefit of your additional income. The psychological benefit of the side hustle extends beyond the additional income. Having multiple income sources reduces financial anxiety and provides a safety net if you lose your primary job. It also expands your professional network, develops entrepreneurial skills, and creates options for your future. Many successful entrepreneurs started with a side hustle that eventually grew into a full-time business. Even if you never leave your day job, the extra income accelerates every financial goal from debt payoff to retirement savings. The key to a successful side hustle is finding the intersection of your skills, market demand, and available time. A nurse who tutors nursing students, an accountant who provides tax preparation services, or a graphic designer who creates brand identities for startups all leverage existing expertise for maximum earning efficiency. The most successful side hustlers treat their additional income streams with the same professionalism and dedication as their primary careers, understanding that consistent effort and quality delivery are what transform a casual gig into a substantial income source. Time management is the greatest challenge for side hustle practitioners. Balancing a primary job, family responsibilities, and a side business requires intentional scheduling and boundary setting. Many successful side hustlers dedicate specific hours each week exclusively to their side business, treating it with the same commitment as a second job. Using productivity tools, batching similar tasks, and eliminating time-wasting activities can help you maximize output during limited available hours. The short-term sacrifice of leisure time is quickly offset by the financial freedom that side hustle income provides. Chapter 17. Freelancing for Financial Freedom. Freelancing offers the highest income potential of any side hustle because it allows you to charge premium rates for specialized skills while working on your own schedule. The gig economy has evolved far beyond driving for rideshare companies. Highly skilled freelancers in fields like web development, copywriting, graphic design, consulting, and financial analysis earn $100 or more per hour while building businesses that provide complete location and time independence. The freelancing landscape has been transformed by digital platforms that connect skilled professionals with clients worldwide. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, Topple, and 99 Designs have democratized access to high-paying freelance work, allowing talented individuals to build global client bases from anywhere with an internet connection. This accessibility has created unprecedented opportunities for financial independence through freelancing, particularly for those willing to develop specialized skills and build strong professional reputations. The key to successful freelancing is positioning yourself as a specialist rather than a generalist. A freelance web developer who specializes in e-commerce sites for dental practices can charge 3 times more than a developer who claims to build all types of websites. Specialization reduces competition, increases perceived value, and allows you to build expertise that clients are willing to pay a premium for. Real example, Daniel Rivera, a former accountant in Chicago, started freelancing as a tax consultant for small businesses in 2022. He charged $150 per hour for his specialized knowledge in restaurant accounting and tax strategy. Within 1 year, he had 12 regular clients paying an average of $2,400 per month each. His freelance income of $28,800 per month exceeded his former accounting salary of $85,000 annually, and he worked fewer hours. By year 2, Daniel hired a virtual assistant and a junior accountant, allowing him to serve 20 clients while personally working just 25 hours per week. Key principle: freelancing success comes from specialization. Pick a niche where your skills solve expensive problems for specific types of clients. Building a sustainable freelance career requires developing systems for client acquisition, project management, and quality control. Customer relationship management tools, project management software, and standardized processes enable you to serve more clients efficiently without sacrificing quality. The transition from freelancer to agency owner, where you hire subcontractors to handle execution while you focus on strategy and client relationships, is the path to scaling your income beyond what your personal time can generate. Building a successful freelance business requires treating it like a real business from day one. Set up a separate business bank account, track all income and expenses meticulously, and pay estimated quarterly taxes to avoid penalties. Build a professional website, collect testimonials from satisfied clients, and invest in continuing education to stay ahead of your competition. The freelancers who earn the most are those who continuously refine their skills, raise their rates annually, and focus on delivering exceptional value that generates referrals and repeat business. Client acquisition is the lifeblood of any freelance business, and the most successful freelancers develop systematic approaches to generating new leads. Networking events, LinkedIn engagement, content marketing, and referral programs all contribute to a steady pipeline of potential clients. Building relationships within your industry creates opportunities that job boards and cold outreach cannot match. The freelancers who thrive long-term are those who invest in relationships as much as they invest in their technical skills and service delivery. Pricing strategy significantly impacts freelance success, and most new freelancers undercharge for their services. Research market rates for your skill level and specialization, and position yourself accordingly. Value-based pricing, where you charge based on the results you deliver rather than the time you spend, allows experienced freelancers to earn significantly more than hourly rates would suggest. As your reputation and expertise grow, progressively increase your rates to reflect the value you provide and filter for clients who appreciate quality work. Chapter 18: Generating rental income. Rental income is one of the most reliable wealth building strategies because it provides consistent monthly cash flow while your property appreciates in value over time. Beyond traditional long-term rentals, modern real estate investors can generate income through short-term vacation rentals, mid-term corporate housing, and house hacking strategies that reduce your own housing costs to near zero. The key is choosing a rental strategy that matches your lifestyle and risk tolerance. House hacking remains the most accessible entry point for new real estate investors. By purchasing a multi-unit property and living in one unit while renting the others, you can dramatically reduce or eliminate your housing expense while building equity and gaining landlording experience. This strategy works in virtually every market and has created more real estate millionaires than any other approach. Real example, Tanya and Chris Morgan, both age 29 in Nashville, purchased a fourplex for $380,000 using an FHA loan requiring just $13,300 down. They lived in one unit and rented the other three for $1,100 each, generating $3,300 in monthly rental income. Their mortgage, including taxes and insurance, was $2,400, giving them $900 in positive monthly cash flow. More importantly, their personal housing costs dropped from $1,800 per month in their previous apartment to effectively negative $900 per month. Over 3 years, they saved $65,000 in housing costs while their property appreciated to $440,000. Key principle: house hacking is the most powerful wealth building tool for young adults. Live in one unit, rent the others, and let your tenants pay your mortgage. The math of house hacking is compelling when you consider the combined benefits of reduced housing costs, rental income, equity building, and property appreciation. When your tenants cover your mortgage and generate additional cash flow, you are effectively living for free while building wealth through forced savings and leverage. This combination of benefits is unavailable through any other investment strategy accessible to ordinary investors with moderate income and savings. Managing rental properties successfully requires treating it as a business, not a hobby. Screen tenants thoroughly using credit checks, employment verification, and rental history. Maintain reserves equal to 6 months of mortgage payments for each property to handle vacancies and unexpected repairs. Build relationships with reliable contractors and consider hiring a property manager once you own 3 or more units to free up your time while maintaining professional oversight of your investments. Understanding local landlord-tenant laws is essential for protecting yourself legally and maintaining positive relationships with your tenants. Each state and municipality has specific regulations regarding security deposits, eviction procedures, habitability standards, and tenant rights. Ignorance of these laws can result in costly legal disputes and financial penalties. Invest time in understanding your legal obligations as a landlord and consider joining local real estate investor associations for ongoing education and networking with experienced property owners. The long-term wealth building potential of rental properties extends beyond monthly cash flow. As tenants pay down your mortgage and property values appreciate, your equity grows substantially over time. Additionally, rental properties provide significant tax advantages, including depreciation deductions, mortgage interest deductions, and the ability to defer capital gains through exchanges. These combined benefits make rental real estate one of the most powerful wealth building vehicles available to individual investors willing to commit to the learning curve and ongoing management requirements. Chapter 19: Creating Royalty Streams. Royalty income represents the holy grail of passive income because you create something once and receive payment every time it sells, with no additional work required. In the digital age, creating royalty streams has never been more accessible. Authors earn royalties from self-published books. Musicians earn from streaming platforms, photographers earn from stock image sales, and creators earn from online courses and educational content that generates sales for years after the initial creation. The key to building meaningful royalty income is creating high-quality assets that solve problems or fulfill desires for specific audiences. A cookbook for busy parents, a photography course for beginners, or a software template for real estate agents each addresses a clear need that people are willing to pay for. The more specific and valuable your asset, the more consistently it will generate sales over time. Real example: Lisa Nakamura, a former graphic designer in Portland, created a set of 500 customizable social media templates for small business owners in 2021. She spent 3 months creating the templates, listing them on Etsy and her own website. In the first year, she earned $18,000 in sales. A year 2, word of mouth and SEO optimization drove sales to $42,000. By year 4, the templates were generating $55,000 annually with zero additional work from Lisa. She had moved on to creating new products, but the original templates continued selling consistently. Key principle: create digital assets that solve specific problems for a defined audience. Quality assets generate royalty income for years or even decades after creation. The scalability of royalty income is what makes it particularly attractive for wealth building. Unlike trading time for money in a traditional job or even freelancing, royalty income can grow exponentially without requiring proportional increases in your effort. A book written once can sell thousands of copies. A course created once can enroll unlimited students, and a template built once can generate sales indefinitely. This scalability is what separates royalty income from virtually all other forms of earning and creates the potential for substantial passive wealth accumulation. Building royalty income requires patience and realistic expectations. Most royalty streams start small and grow over time as your reputation builds and your distribution channels expand. The most successful royalty creators focus on building a library of assets rather than betting everything on a single product. By creating 10 to 20 royalty generating assets over several years, you build a diversified income stream that provides meaningful monthly revenue even if individual products experience sales fluctuations. Marketing and distribution are as important as creation when it comes to royalty income. A brilliant product that no one knows about will not generate sales. Build an audience through content marketing, social media engagement, and email list development before and after launching your royalty generating assets. Search engine optimization, strategic partnerships, and paid advertising can all accelerate the discovery of your products. The most successful royalty creators spend at least as much time promoting their work as they spend creating it. Understanding that visibility drives revenue, quality, and customer satisfaction are the foundations of sustainable royalty income. Products that consistently delight customers generate positive reviews, word of mouth referrals, and repeat purchases. Conversely, low quality products quickly develop negative reputations that undermine future sales potential. Invest the time and resources necessary to create genuinely valuable products that solve real problems for your target audience. The short-term temptation to rush products to market is almost always offset by the long-term damage to your reputation and income potential. Chapter 20. Building digital products. Digital products represent the ultimate scalable income stream because they cost almost nothing to produce, can be sold to unlimited customers, and require no inventory, shipping, or ongoing fulfillment. Online courses, ebooks, software tools, membership sites, and digital templates have created a new generation of entrepreneurs who earn 6 or 7 figures from businesses that can be run entirely from a laptop. The barriers to entry have never been lower, but success requires creating products that genuinely solve problems for your target audience. The digital product market continues to grow at an extraordinary rate, with global e-learning alone projected to exceed $400 billion by 2026. This growth creates enormous opportunities for creators who can develop high-quality products that serve specific market needs. Whether you create courses, templates, software, or digital art, the demand for digital solutions to real problems continues to expand, making this an ideal time to enter the digital product market. The most profitable digital products share common traits. They address a specific pain point, they deliver measurable results, and they are positioned to a clearly defined audience. A course on learning Python programming for data analysts targets a specific audience with a specific outcome. This clarity and positioning makes marketing more effective and allows you to charge premium prices because the value proposition is crystal clear. Real example, Kevin Ackeffer, a former high school math teacher in Houston, created an online SAT preparation course in 2022. He spent 4 months producing video lessons, practice tests, and study guides. He priced the course at $299 and marketed it through Instagram and TikTok, where he shared free test-taking tips. In the first year, he sold 340 courses, generating $101,660 in revenue. By year 3, testimonials and word of mouth had driven sales to 1,200 courses annually, producing $358,800 in revenue with minimal ongoing effort beyond customer support and occasional content updates. Key principle: create digital products that teach specific skills or solve specific problems for a defined audience. Clear positioning and genuine value drive sustainable sales. Customer feedback is the most valuable resource for improving your digital products and creating new ones. Actively solicit reviews, surveys, and direct communication with your customers to understand what they love, what they struggle with, and what they wish your product included. This feedback loop drives product improvements, inspires new offerings, and ensures your product library remains relevant and valuable to your target audience. The most successful digital product businesses are those that listen to their customers and continuously evolve their offerings to meet changing needs and preferences. Building a successful digital product business requires treating the creation process professionally. Invest in quality production equipment, conduct market research before building your product, and beta test with real customers to refine your offering. Build an email list and social media following around your area of expertise before launching, as this provides a built-in audience of potential buyers. The most successful digital product creators continuously iterate based on customer feedback and stay current with trends in their market. Pricing digital products requires balancing accessibility with profitability. Price too low and you signal low quality while making it difficult to generate meaningful revenue. Price too high and you may limit your audience without providing proportionally greater value. Research competitor pricing. Survey your target audience about their willingness to pay and consider offering multiple pricing tiers to capture different segments of your market. The most successful digital product businesses often find that mid-range pricing with excellent value perception outperforms both budget and premium strategies. Scaling a digital product business involves creating systems that handle increasing volume without requiring proportional increases in your personal time. Automated email sequences, self-service customer support, and templated production processes allow you to serve more customers while maintaining quality standards. Many digital product entrepreneurs eventually hire virtual assistants, contractors, or full-time employees to handle operations, freeing them to focus on strategic growth and new product development. This systematic approach transforms a solo operation into a scalable business that generates substantial income with manageable ongoing effort. Part 5, The Financial Freedom Blueprint, Chapter 21. The FIRE movement explained. The FIRE movement stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early, and it represents a radical approach to personal finance that prioritizes aggressive saving and investing to achieve retirement decades ahead of the traditional timeline. FIRE adherents typically save 50 to 70% of their income, invest in low-cost index funds, and aim to accumulate 25 times their annual expenses in invested assets. Once reached, this portfolio generates enough returns to cover living expenses indefinitely, granting complete financial freedom. The origins of the FIRE movement can be traced to the 1992 book Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin and Joe Domings, which challenged conventional thinking about the relationship between work, money, and life satisfaction. The movement gained mainstream attention through the blog Mr. Money Mustache and has since grown into a global community of millions of people pursuing financial independence through intentional living and aggressive wealth accumulation. The core principles remain consistent regardless of the specific approach each individual takes. The mathematical foundation of FIRE rests on the 4% rule, which states that a diversified portfolio can sustain 4% annual withdrawals with minimal risk of depletion over 30 or more years. If you spend $40,000 per year, you need approximately $1 million invested to achieve financial independence. This simple calculation provides a clear target and motivates the aggressive saving required to reach it. Real example, Angela and Brian Collins, both software engineers in Austin with a combined income of $220,000, discovered the FIRE movement at age 28 and decided to pursue early retirement. They maintained their $60,000 annual lifestyle while investing the remaining $100,000 annually in index funds. After 8 years of consistent saving and investing, their portfolio reached $1.15 million, generating approximately $46,000 in annual returns. They both quit their tech jobs at age 36, started traveling the world, and now work on passion projects that bring them fulfillment without financial pressure. Key principle: calculate your FIRE number by multiplying your annual expenses by 25. That is the portfolio size needed for financial independence at a 4% withdrawal rate. Achieving FIRE requires a fundamental shift in how you view the relationship between work, money, and freedom. For most people, work is something they endure to fund their lifestyle. For FIRE practitioners, work becomes optional once investment income covers expenses. This shift in perspective transforms the experience of earning, saving, and investing from a series of sacrifices into a deliberate strategy for achieving complete life autonomy. The knowledge that every financial decision brings you closer to this goal creates motivation and purpose that sustains the discipline required for aggressive wealth accumulation. FIRE is not about deprivation or living a miserable life in pursuit of early retirement. It is about being intentional with your money, spending generously on things that bring you joy, and cutting ruthlessly on things that do not. Many fire practitioners report higher life satisfaction during their accumulation phase because they have clarity of purpose and witness their progress toward a life-changing goal. Whether you retire at 35 or 55, the principles of fire, aggressive saving, mindful spending, and consistent investing accelerate your path to financial freedom regardless of your target retirement age. The fire movement encompasses several variations that accommodate different lifestyles and preferences. Lean Fire targets a modest lifestyle with annual expenses of $40,000 or less, requiring a smaller portfolio but offering less financial cushion. Fat Fire allows for a more comfortable lifestyle with annual expenses of $100,000 or more, requiring a larger portfolio but providing greater flexibility and security. Bars to Fire involves semi-retirement where part-time work covers some expenses while investment income handles the rest. Each variation provides a different balance between accumulation timeline and lifestyle quality. One concern many people have about fire is the perceived sacrifice of enjoying life during the best years. However, most fire practitioners report that the journey itself is deeply fulfilling. The clarity of purpose that comes from pursuing financial independence creates meaning and direction that many people lack in conventional careers. The community of like-minded individuals pursuing similar goals provides support and encouragement. And the knowledge that every financial decision brings you closer to complete freedom creates a sense of empowerment and control that transcends any temporary lifestyle restrictions. Chapter 22 Retirement Planning Made Simple. Retirement planning is not complicated, but it requires starting early and staying consistent. The three pillars of retirement planning are employer sponsored plans like 401ks, individual retirement accounts or IRAs, and personal taxable investment accounts. Each vehicle offers different tax advantages, contribution limits, and access rules, but together they provide a comprehensive framework for building retirement wealth that can support you for decades. The tax advantages of retirement accounts are one of the most powerful wealth building tools available to ordinary investors. Traditional 401k and IRA contributions reduce your taxable income in the current year, while Roth contributions provide tax-free growth and withdrawals in retirement. Understanding and maximizing these tax advantages can accelerate your retirement savings by years or even decades, making them essential components of any comprehensive retirement strategy. The most powerful retirement planning tool is the employer match. If your employer matches 401k contributions up to 6% of your salary, that match provides an immediate 100% return on your investment. Not contributing enough to capture the full match is literally leaving free money on the table. After capturing the match, direct additional savings to a Roth IRA for tax-free growth, then back to the 401k if you have not yet reached the annual contribution limit. Real example, James and Olivia Park, both age 30 in Seattle with a combined income of $160,000, created a retirement plan that maximized every available tax advantage. They each contributed $23,500 to their employer 401k plans and received a 6% employer match, adding $9,600 in free money annually. They also each contributed $7,000 to Roth IRAs. Their total annual retirement savings was $63,600, of which $54,000 came from their contributions and $9,600 from employer matches. At an average 8% annual return, this strategy will produce a retirement portfolio exceeding $3.5 million by age 60. Key principle: always contribute enough to your 401k to capture the full employer match. It is the closest thing to free money you will ever find. Roth retirement accounts offer a powerful complement to traditional pre-tax accounts. While contributions to Roth accounts are made with after-tax dollars, the growth and withdrawals in retirement are completely tax-free. For young investors in lower tax brackets, Roth accounts often provide superior long-term value because the tax-free growth has decades to compound. A balanced approach using both traditional and Roth accounts provides tax diversification in retirement, allowing you to optimize your tax situation based on your income and tax bracket at that time. The most important factor in retirement planning is time. A 25-year-old who invests $500 per month at 8% annual returns will have approximately $1.5 million by age 60. A 35-year-old investing the same amount will have just $660,000. That 10-year head start more than doubles the final result, illustrating why starting early is the single most powerful retirement planning strategy available. Even small amounts invested in your 20s and 30s grow to significant sums through the extraordinary power of compound interest over decades. Retirement planning also requires estimating your future expenses accurately. A common rule of thumb suggests you will need approximately 80% of your pre-retirement income to maintain your lifestyle in retirement, but this varies significantly based on your plan activities, healthcare needs, and geographic location. Create a detailed retirement budget that accounts for housing, travel, healthcare, hobbies, and inflation. Understanding your target number provides clarity and motivation for your savings and investment strategy throughout your working years. Healthcare costs represent one of the largest and most unpredictable expenses in retirement. Medicare covers some healthcare costs for those over 65, but significant gaps remain, including dental, vision, hearing, and long-term care. Planning for these expenses through health savings accounts, long-term care insurance, or dedicated investment accounts prevents healthcare costs from derailing your retirement plans. Many retirees underestimate health care expenses by 50% or more, making proactive planning essential for maintaining financial security throughout retirement. Chapter 23, Estate Planning Essentials. Estate planning is not just for the wealthy, it is for anyone who wants to ensure their assets are distributed according to their wishes and their loved ones are protected. Without an estate plan, the state decides how your assets are distributed, which can result in prolonged legal battles, excessive taxes, and outcomes that do not reflect your intentions. Basic estate planning documents, including a will, power of attorney, and healthcare directive, should be in place for every adult regardless of wealth level. The cost of inadequate estate planning far exceeds the cost of creating proper documents. Legal fees, court costs, tax penalties, and family conflicts resulting from poor or non-existent estate plans can consume 10 to 30% of an estate value, destroying wealth that took decades to accumulate. Investing a few $1,000s in proper estate planning protects your family from unnecessary financial hardship and ensures your wishes are carried out exactly as you intend. A last will and testament specifies how your assets should be distributed after your death and names a guardian for minor children. Without a will, state intestacy laws determine asset distribution, which may not align with your wishes. A revocable living trust provides additional benefits, including avoiding the probate process, maintaining privacy, and enabling seamless asset transfer. For most families, a combination of a will and trust provides comprehensive protection. Real example: the Hernandez family in Phoenix experienced the consequences of inadequate estate planning when the patriarch, Eduardo, passed away unexpectedly at age 52 without a will. Despite having accumulated $800,000 in assets, his family spent 80 months in probate court, paid $24,000 in legal fees, and endured family conflict over asset distribution. His wife had to sell the family home to cover legal costs and divide assets among three heirs as dictated by state law, which did not match Eduardo's verbal wishes. Contrast this with the Williams family, where both parents had comprehensive estate plans. When Mrs. Williams passed, her assets transferred to her husband within weeks with minimal legal costs. Key principle: everyone needs at minimum a will, power of attorney, and healthcare directive. These basic documents protect your family from unnecessary legal and financial hardship. Naming beneficiaries on your retirement accounts, insurance policies, and bank accounts is one of the simplest yet most important aspects of estate planning. Beneficiary designations override your will, meaning that even if your will leaves assets to one person, the account will go to whoever is listed as the beneficiary. Review and update beneficiary designations regularly, especially after major life events like marriage, divorce, or the birth of children. This simple step prevents unintended wealth transfers and ensures your assets go exactly where you intend. Estate planning is not a one-time event but an ongoing process that should be reviewed and updated every 3 to 5 years or after major life events including marriage, divorce, birth of children, significant asset changes, or relocation to a new state. Work with an estate planning attorney to create documents tailored to your specific situation and family dynamics. The cost of basic estate planning ranges from $1,000 to $3,000, a small investment compared to the tens of thousands in legal fees and taxes that per planning can cost your heirs. Digital assets represent an increasingly important component of modern estate planning. Cryptocurrency holdings, online business accounts, social media profiles, digital photo libraries, and cloud storage all require consideration in your estate plan. Without proper planning, digital assets can be lost forever or fall into the wrong hands. Create a comprehensive digital inventory including account names, passwords, and access instructions, and store this information securely with your estate planning documents. Consider using a password manager with emergency access features to ensure your digital legacy is properly managed. Charitable giving can be incorporated into your estate plan to reduce taxes while supporting causes you care about. Charitable remainder trusts, donor advised funds, and direct bequests in your will all provide tax benefits while creating a lasting positive impact. For those with significant wealth, charitable planning can reduce estate taxes substantially while honoring your values and creating a legacy of generosity that extends beyond your lifetime. Work with your estate planning attorney and financial advisor to develop a charitable strategy that aligns with your family values and financial goals. Chapter 24: Tax Optimization Strategies. Tax optimization is not about avoiding taxes illegally. It is about structuring your finances to minimize your tax burden within the law. Most people pay thousands more in taxes than necessary simply because they do not understand the tax code or take advantage of available strategies. The wealthy employ teams of tax professionals to optimize their tax positions, but many of these strategies are available to anyone willing to learn and implement them. The tax code contains numerous provisions designed to incentivize behaviors that benefit the economy and individuals, including saving for retirement, investing in education, owning a home, and supporting charitable causes. Understanding these provisions and structuring your finances to qualify for available deductions and credits is not tax avoidance. It is smart financial planning that the government encourages through the tax code itself. The foundation of tax optimization is maximizing tax-advantaged accounts. Contributing to traditional 401k and IRA accounts reduces your taxable income in the current year while building retirement wealth. Health savings accounts, or HSAs, provide a triple tax advantage: tax-deductible contributions, tax-free growth, and tax-free withdrawals for qualified medical expenses. For 2026, you can contribute up to $4,150 individually or $8,300 for family coverage to an HSA. Real example: the Rodriguez family in Chicago earned $185,000 in combined income and implemented a comprehensive tax optimization strategy. They maxed out both 401k accounts for $47,000 in pre-tax contributions, contributed $8,300 to an HSA, and funded 2 Roth IRAs for $14,000 in post-tax contributions. They also donated $5,000 to charity and claimed the standard deduction of $29,200. Their effective federal tax rate dropped from an estimated 24% to just 14%, saving them approximately $18,500 in annual taxes. Over 20 years, this tax savings, if invested at 8%, grows to over $850,000 in additional wealth. Key principle: maximize contributions to tax-advantaged accounts before investing in taxable accounts. Every dollar sheltered from taxes is a dollar that compounds faster toward your goals. Investment tax planning is another crucial component of comprehensive tax optimization. Holding investments for more than 1 year qualifies for long-term capital gains rates, which are significantly lower than ordinary income tax rates. Strategic asset location: placing tax-inefficient investments in tax-advantaged accounts and tax-efficient investments in taxable accounts further reduces your annual tax burden. These strategies compound over time to create substantial tax savings that enhance your overall investment returns. Beyond account contributions, several other tax strategies can generate significant savings. Harvesting investment losses to offset gains, timing charitable donations for maximum impact, and structuring business income for favorable tax treatment are all legal strategies that reduce your tax burden. Work with a qualified tax professional who can identify opportunities specific to your situation. The cost of good tax advice typically pays for itself many times over in savings and optimization that you would miss on your own. Tax loss harvesting: the practice of selling investments at a loss to offset capital gains taxes is one of the most powerful tax optimization strategies available to investors. By strategically selling losing investments to offset gains from winning investments, you can reduce or eliminate capital gains taxes in any given year. The proceeds from the losing investments can then be reinvested in similar but not identical securities to maintain your desired portfolio allocation while preserving the tax loss benefits. This strategy can save thousands of dollars annually for active investors. Charitable giving strategies can provide substantial tax benefits while supporting causes you care about. Donor advised funds allow you to make a large charitable contribution in a high income year, receive the full tax deduction immediately, and distribute the funds to charities over time. Qualified charitable distributions from IRAs allow those over 70 and a half to donate directly to charity without the distribution counting as taxable income. These strategies transform charitable giving from a simple expense into a powerful tax optimization tool that benefits both your community and your financial position. Chapter 25: Building a Lasting Legacy. Building a lasting legacy goes beyond accumulating wealth. It involves creating systems, values, and resources that benefit future generations and your community. The wealthiest families understand that money without financial literacy destroys as much as it creates, which is why legacy building focuses on teaching principles, not just transferring dollars. Your legacy is defined not by the amount you leave behind, but by the impact it has on the lives it touches. Effective legacy building begins with open conversations about money within your family. Research shows that 70% of wealth is lost by the second generation and 90% by the third, primarily due to lack of financial education and communication. By teaching your children about earning, saving, investing, and giving from an early age, you dramatically increase the odds that your hard-earned wealth will create positive outcomes rather than dependency and conflict. Real example: the Williams family in Atlanta implemented a family financial education program that transformed their approach to wealth and legacy. Starting when their children were 8 and 10, they created a family bank where kids could borrow small amounts at 5% interest to fund business ideas. They held monthly family meetings to discuss investments, charitable giving, and financial goals. By the time their children reached adulthood, both had started businesses, invested in index funds, and developed a strong work ethic. The family foundation they established at age 55 now distributes $25,000 annually to educational causes, funded entirely by investment income from the original family wealth. Key principle: legacy is built through financial education, not just wealth transfer. Teach your children to earn, invest, and give, and your wealth will multiply across generations. Financial literacy education for children should begin early and evolve as they mature. Young children can learn basic concepts through allowances and savings jars, while teenagers can participate in family financial discussions and begin investing with small amounts. The key is making money conversations normal and shame-free, creating an environment where financial questions are welcomed and answered honestly. Children who grow up understanding how money works are far better equipped to manage wealth responsibly than those who receive financial education only through trial and error. Creating a family mission statement around wealth and values provides a framework for financial decisions across generations. This statement articulates your family core values, financial priorities, and the purpose your wealth is meant to serve. When future generations face financial decisions, they can refer to this guiding document for clarity and direction. The most enduring family legacies are those built on shared values and purpose, not just accumulated assets. Creating a lasting legacy also involves contributing to your community and causes you care about. Charitable giving strategies, including donor-advised funds, charitable remainder trusts, and qualified charitable distributions from retirement accounts, can provide tax benefits while supporting organizations that align with your values. The most meaningful legacies combine financial resources with time, wisdom, and mentorship, creating impact that extends far beyond monetary transfers to future generations. Mentorship is one of the most powerful components of legacy building that costs nothing but time and wisdom. Sharing your financial knowledge and life experiences with younger generations creates ripple effects that extend far beyond your immediate family. Volunteering as a financial literacy instructor, mentoring young professionals in your field, or simply sharing your wealth building journey with those who could benefit from your experience creates lasting impact that transcends monetary value. The most enduring legacies are those that inspire and empower others to build their own paths to financial freedom. Ultimately, building a lasting legacy requires intentionality and consistency across every area of your financial life. From the daily spending decisions that shape your wealth to the estate planning documents that protect it, from the investment strategies that grow it to the charitable giving that extends its impact, every financial choice contributes to the legacy you are building. The principles in this book provide the blueprint, but your commitment to consistent action over time is what transforms knowledge into lasting wealth and legacy that benefits generations to come. Conclusion: your journey starts now. You have now completed a comprehensive journey through the principles, strategies, and mindset shifts required to build lasting wealth. The knowledge contained in these pages is not theoretical. It is drawn from the real experiences of thousands of people who transformed their financial lives from struggle to abundance. The question that remains is not whether these strategies work, but whether you will take action to implement them in your own life. Throughout this book, we have explored the psychological foundations of wealth building, the practical strategies for managing money effectively, and the investment principles that create lasting financial security. We have seen how ordinary people with ordinary incomes achieved extraordinary results through consistent application of proven principles. Their stories demonstrate that financial freedom is not reserved for the privileged few but is available to anyone willing to commit to the journey. Financial freedom is not a destination reserved for the lucky few or the naturally talented. It is a systematic process that anyone can follow with discipline, patience, and consistency. The principles are straightforward. Spend less than you earn, eliminate high interest debt, invest consistently in low cost index funds, build multiple income streams, and protect your wealth through proper planning. Each of these steps is achievable for anyone willing to make them a priority. Real example: consider the story of Marcus Bennett, a factory worker in Detroit who earned $42,000 annually for most of his career. Through consistent application of the principles in this book, Marcus saved 25% of his income, eliminated all debt by age 40, invested in index funds for 20 years, and built a small portfolio of rental properties. By age 55, Marcus had a net worth of $1.3 million, generated $4,200 in monthly passive income, and retired from his factory job to spend time with his grandchildren. Marcus had no inheritance, no advanced degree, and no special advantages. He simply applied proven principles with unwavering consistency over 2 decades. His story illustrates the central theme of this book. Financial freedom is available to anyone willing to follow a proven system with patience and determination. The strategies he used are the same ones outlined in these pages, and they work regardless of your current income, age, or financial starting point. The wealth building journey is not always smooth. There will be months when unexpected expenses derail your budget, years when the stock market tests your resolve, and moments when the temptation to abandon your plan feels overwhelming. These challenges are not signs that the strategy is failing. They are normal parts of the wealth building process that every successful investor has experienced. The difference between those who achieve financial freedom and those who do not is persistence through these inevitable difficult periods. Key principle: the best time to start building wealth was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Take one action from this book within the next 24 hours. Your financial future is not determined by your past mistakes, your current income, or the economic conditions around you. It is determined by the choices you make starting now. Every dollar you save, every debt you eliminate, every investment you make, and every financial habit you develop brings you closer to the freedom and security you deserve. The wealth building blueprint is in your hands. The only remaining ingredient is your commitment to follow through. The journey to financial freedom is not a sprint, it is a marathon that rewards persistence, patience, and consistency. There will be setbacks, unexpected expenses, market downturns, and moments of doubt. But the principles you have learned in this book have been tested by thousands of people who face similar challenges and emerge stronger on the other side. Trust the process, stay committed to your goals, and remember that every small step forward is a step closer to the financial life you envision for yourself and your family. As you close this book and begin your wealth building journey, remember that the most important step is the first one. Start today, start small, but start. Open that savings account, set up that automatic investment, create that budget, or have that conversation with your partner about your financial goals. Whatever action aligns with where you are right now, take it. The compound effect of consistent, intentional financial decisions will transform your life in ways you cannot yet imagine. Your wealth building blueprint begins now. Appendix, resources, and tools. The following resources will support your wealth building journey. These tools and platforms have been selected based on their reliability, low costs, and effectiveness for investors at every experience level. Investment platforms. Vanguard offers the lowest cost index funds in the industry with no minimum investment for most funds. Fidelity provides zero expense ratio index funds and excellent customer service. Charles Schwab combines comprehensive banking and investment services with competitive pricing. For beginning investors, any of these three platforms will serve you well for decades. Budgeting tools. Up where you need a budget uses a zero-based budgeting approach that gives every dollar a job. Mint offers free expense tracking and credit monitoring. Personal Capital provides investment tracking alongside budgeting features. Choose the tool that matches your style and commit to using it consistently for at least 3 months to develop the habit. Real estate platforms Fundrise allows real estate investing starting with as little as $10 to diversified rate portfolios. Realty Mogul provides access to commercial real estate deals for accredited investors. Bigger Pockets offers educational resources and community forums for real estate investors at every level. Roofstock enables turnkey rental property purchases with professional management already in place. Credit monitoring, annualcreditreport.com provides free annual credit reports from all three major bureaus. Credit Karma offers free credit score monitoring and personalized recommendations. Experian provides free credit monitoring with dark web surveillance. Monitor your credit regularly to detect errors and track your progress as you implement the credit building strategies from Chapter 9. Tax preparation. TurboTax offers user-friendly tax preparation with interview-style guidance. H&R Block provides both online and in-person tax preparation services. Free Tax USA offers federal filing for free with paid state filing options. For complex situations involving investments, rental properties, or business income, consider working with a certified public accountant who specializes in tax planning. Recommended reading: The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel explores the behavioral aspects of wealth building. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins provides a clear guide to index fund investing. Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki challenges conventional thinking about money and investing. The Millionaire Next Door by Dr. Thomas Stanley reveals the habits of America's wealthy. Set for Life by Scott Trench offers practical advice for young adults building wealth. Remember that tools and resources are only as effective as the person using them. The strategies in this book work because they are grounded in timeless financial principles, not because of any specific platform or technology. Choose the tools that fit your needs, commit to consistent action, and trust the process. Your journey to financial freedom begins with the next step you take. The most important tool in your financial arsenal is not software or spreadsheets, it is your own mindset and behavior. All the budgeting apps, investment platforms, and financial planning tools in the world cannot compensate for poor financial habits or lack of discipline. The principles in this book provide the knowledge and strategies you need, but consistent daily action is what transforms knowledge into wealth. Start with one strategy, master it, and then add another. The compound effect of many small, consistent financial decisions creates extraordinary results over time. Financial education is a lifelong journey that extends far beyond the pages of this book. The economic landscape, tax laws, investment products, and financial strategies evolve continuously. Stay current by reading financial publications, listening to investment podcasts, and following reputable financial educators. However, be selective about your information sources and avoid those who promote get-rich-quick schemes or unrealistic promises. The wealthiest people in the world built their fortunes through patience, discipline, and consistent application of proven principles, not through shortcuts or schemes. The financial principles outlined in this book have been tested and validated by decades of research and the real-world experiences of millions of investors. While specific investment products, tax laws, and economic conditions will continue to change, the fundamental principles of spending less than you earn, investing consistently, and building multiple income streams remain constant. Master these fundamentals, and you will have the knowledge and tools to navigate whatever financial challenges and opportunities the future presents. Community is essential for sustained financial success. Surround yourself with people who share your financial values and goals, whether through local investing clubs, online forums, or accountability partnerships. The support, encouragement, and shared knowledge of a financial community can help you stay motivated during difficult times, discover new opportunities, and avoid common pitfalls. Your financial journey does not have to be a solitary endeavor, and building wealth alongside others who share your vision creates a powerful network of mutual support and accountability. As you continue on your wealth building journey, remember that every financial expert was once a beginner. The people who achieved financial freedom documented in this book started exactly where you are right now, with questions, concerns, and perhaps some skepticism about whether these strategies could work for them. What set them apart was not superior knowledge or exceptional circumstances, but rather consistent action over time. Your journey to financial freedom starts with a single step, and that step is the most important one you will ever take. Table of Contents Part 1: The Money Habits That Separate Rich from Poor Chapter 1. The Psychology of Spending Habits Chapter 2. Building an Unshakable Saving Mindset, Chapter 3, The Power of Delayed Gratification, Chapter 4, Financial Discipline as a Superpower, Chapter 5, Living Below Your Means, Part 2, Smart Budgeting and Debt Freedom, Chapter 6, The 50/30/20 Rule That Changes Everything, Chapter 7, The Debt Snowball Method, Chapter 8, The Debt Avalanche Strategy, Chapter 9, Credit Score Mastery, Chapter 10, The Art of Negotiating Bills, Part 3, Smart Investing for Everyone, Chapter 11, Index Funds and Passive Wealth, Chapter 12, Dollar Cost Averaging Made Simple, Chapter 13, Real Estate Investing for Beginners, Chapter 14, Dividend Investing for